Welcome back. I'm so glad you're here. I am Coach Julia, and today we are going to be learning how to do a 1 foot spin. I know a lot of you have been really looking forward to this, so here we go. Now before we get into this, make sure you know how to do a proper 2 foot spin, and I have a whole tutorial for that. I'll put a link in the description down below so you can follow that and learn how to do a good 2 foot spin with a proper entrance. But if you know how to do that, we'll get started with our 1 foot spin. Now before we actually get into the spin, I'm going to give you an exercise for your entrance. We want to go into a 1 foot spin on 1 foot, and that could actually be the trickiest part. So we're going to find a circle. I'm just using this little curling circle for now, and if you don't have circles at your rink, that's fine. You'll just have to imagine the circle in your head. I'm going to stand on my left forward outside edge with my left hand in front, and I'm going to extend my right hand and my right foot. So this is basically your entrance position for a spin. What I want you to do is try to get a little bit of speed and hold that entrance position for as long as you can with a nice soft bent knee. Soft bent knee, left hand in front, right leg and right hand extended out behind you on an outside edge. Now once you can hold this in a complete circle, we're going to try to actually tighten that circle up. Think of it like a snail shell, right? So it starts large and gets tighter. Now the way we're going to do that is by increasing the bend and the lean in our left outside edge. So we have that soft bend on our outside edge, but as we try to make our circle tighter, we're going to increase that bend and increase the lean. Let me show you what that's going to look like. So I'm going to start with the largest part of the circle, and I'm going to try to increase it till I get into the smallest part of the circle. Large. I'm going to bend my knee more and increase my lean. And as you can see, my circle actually tightened up. So that is your first exercise. For our next exercise, we're going to try to practice our 1 foot spin position. We're going to make our muscles memorize that position so it's easy for them to find when you're in the spin. So for this 1 foot spin position, I'm going to be standing on my left leg, right up there on my rocker. So not way back on my heel, not way up on my toe pick, but right in the middle on my rocker. I'm going to be lifting really strong so that my whole body is centered over my left side. So a nice line between my foot, my hip, and my shoulder, but I'm also going to bring my right side slightly over so that it's kind of on top of that left side as well. I'm going to do a 1 foot glide with my knee up, slightly turned in, and my hands are going to cross over my heart on my left side. All right, so I'm going to try this forward, then I'm going to show you how to do it in a circle. I'm showing you forward just so you can see the position, but I really want you to practice it on a circle. So let's go. So we're going to skate. That knee comes up, slightly over, and everything centers over that left side. You can see my right shoulder is coming a little bit forward, my right hip is lifted and forward. So let's practice that 1 foot spin position on this circle now. So again, we're going to get just a little bit of speed. We're going to get up on that left outside edge, bring our right knee slightly across, cross those arms over our left side, and slightly elevate that right hip. Let's try that again. A couple pumps. So that right hip comes slightly up, my knee comes in, my hands cross over my left side. I'm trying to center everything really strong over that left side. When we work on this 1 foot spin position, notice that my knee is in front of me rather than behind me, where my foot is like a tail. If your foot's behind you like a tail, it'll throw your whole spin off. So when you're finding this position, bring your knee forward in front of you like a table. Now that we've practiced that entrance entrance edge and our 1 foot spin position, it's time to combine them. Now this is the most difficult part in my opinion. This is going to determine whether you travel, whether you have power and speed in your spin. So I'm using this curling circle for a reason. You can see that there's 3 rings. I'm going to start, and there's a cross in the middle, right? 3 rings and a crisscross in the middle. I'm starting on one of those lines on the outside ring. I'm going to try to make my entrance shape look like half of a heart. I talked about that with the 2 foot spin tutorial, and we're going to try to repeat it on 1 foot now. So I put that left hand in front, and my aim is to get just past the cross and then get back to the center. Now when I get to the center, I'm going to be really pressed down really deep, and that's going to tighten my circle up. At that point, my foot's actually going to do a 3 turn, and I'm going to rise up into my 1 foot spin position. So I push, increase, 3 turn, rise up into that 1 foot spin position that we just practiced. So in this entrance, we start on our left forward outside edge. We're going to do a little 3 turn, rise up into the spin, and continue backwards on our left to back inside edge. So the 2 really important things to note here are that when I did my 3 turn or started my spin, it was directly in line with where I pushed. So if you don't have a circle but you have a hockey line or any kind of marking where you can look at where you're starting, you want to hold that edge all the way until your toe is pointed at where you started. So I want you to really look at that. So I'm starting here on this curling line, and I'm going to try to make my 3 turn happen directly on that curling line again. So if you noticed, I started my push and started my spin in the exact same line. That's really, really important. It's important to help you keep from traveling, and it's important to help you stay stable and not wobbling around in your spin. All right, so we practice holding that entrance, that half heart shape, so that your toe looks right back at where you started. Now, once you have that really nice heart shape, you've really got to think about your transition from your entrance position up to your spin. So you actually want to have your right arm, which is extended behind, come around to your heart, and your left arm pull back. So they're coming around like this. Left arm pulling back, right arm coming around. Okay, that right arm is going to help you get just a little bit of momentum. And your leg is going to do the exact same thing as your arm. This is going to be practically impossible to do straight, but I'll try it. So I'm here, and my arm and my leg are going to come around up to that 1 foot spin position. Let me show you that again. So they're extended behind. They're going to come around. Ooh, that's difficult. And up to that 1 foot spin position. In the entrance, you want to hold your right arm and leg back behind you and your left arm in front through your entire entrance edge. When your foot hits the 3 turn, your arm and leg begin to move in that wide circle around over to your side. And as you spin, they complete that full circle. Your right knee should begin to bend as your right leg moves in front of you, and you can use your adductor muscles, those are on the inside of your thigh, to squeeze your free leg in. I want you to try to imagine you are squeezing your right arm and right leg against the air, like a giant big air bubble that you're trying to pop. I know that sounds strange, but it would really help you increase the speed of your spin. So we've gone over that entrance, we've gone over your 1 foot spin position, and we've gone over the transition between the 2. Now you have to understand where the power in the spin happens, and it's also good to understand what direction you're traveling. Since we start with a forward outside edge, and our foot does a tiny little 3 turn just as we spin, our foot's actually traveling backwards. So your left foot is traveling backwards. That means your whole left side is traveling backwards in the spin, and your right side is traveling forwards. All right? So left side backwards, right side forwards. This is important to understand because you want to use that to create power and momentum. So I want you to think about your shoulder blade there in the back, your hip, and pulling those back. So you're engaging those muscles and pushing them back, all right? And on the other side, you're taking the front of your shoulder blade and, really importantly, the front of your hip and your knee and pushing them forwards. So this back on the left and forward push on the right helps you create momentum. And as soon as you let go of that power in the spin, your spin's going to wind down and stop. So if you feel like you're only getting one rotation or two in your 1 foot spin, it may be that you're not maintaining that power, that push-pull feeling throughout the entire spin. So when you go into that spin, be mindful about pushing back with that left side and pushing forwards with the right side. So we enter, we press down, we rise up, and then we push backwards on that left and forwards on the right. And you see that power there, pushing back? So when you practice this, you can even practice it in your 2 foot spin, thinking about that power, all right? It's very, very important to understand. Backwards on the left, forwards on the right. The last key thing to keep in mind is you always want to end your spin with a nice, strong exit. Even if you feel like that spin is a little bit weak, you want to finish it off nicely. So we go into our spin, we do our spin, and you want to step down with that right foot, backwards, and find that check position. I did a whole video about check positions. If you don't know what a check position is, I will put a link down below to that tutorial as well. You want to find your check position. So from your spin, your right knee goes down, your right foot goes down, you push back onto that right back outside edge, and you find your nice strong check position. Even if you feel like your spin is a little wonky, you still want to finish strong. You never want to finish a wonky spin with a wonky ending. That's just showing off to everybody that you did a bad spin. So you do your very best to always finish your spins strong. Okay, skaters, I hope you enjoyed that one. That 1 foot spin is a foundation for so many other spins to come, so practice it. And of course, I'd love to see your videos, so tag me on Instagram. If you enjoyed this, then please do give us that thumbs up. And as always, I look forward to reading all your comments in the section down below. If you haven't done so yet, then hit that subscribe button and that little notification bell so you can see all my videos when they come out. Happy skating, and I'll see you next time.